sure. I'm sure it's good, right?
Okay, should we start running?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Yes, we should.
Today, I have Brandon Miller on Matchup Mile.
Woo!
He is an engineer by day, but at lunchtime, evenings, and weekends, he is one of the best trail runners in Calgary. Woo! In 2024, you won Kodiak Ultra 21K, Sinister 7 Ultra 50K, Slay the Dragon 50K, Hoka Bandera Endurance Trail Run 50K, Trans Rockies 6 days, and then in 2023, you came in 4th for the RVM half marathon.
That's right.
That's insane.
I mean, it was insane to me too. It was, I'm not a road. I say I'm not a road runner, right? Which is terrible because everyone would be like, "What the heck?" But I like to think I'm a trail person, right?
That's why I had to add in the RVM one, because I'm like, for someone who does trail, you fucking crush the half.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, that was my first like real dive into road running, other than like some local 10Ks and things here and there in the past. But yeah, that one I actually stuck to. It was after Squamish 50 miler, Canadian champs. And then I was like, well, I want to do like a roadblock. So I was going to do the Victoria half marathon and then also CIM for a full marathon, just to see what I could do with like an actual block.
Yeah.
Behind me. So
Damn.
Yeah, I just put an actual like a proper training block for road and managed to, what was it? It was like I think 107 high.
You were 4 seconds after Kip.
Yeah, so we're at the start line and I wasn't even in the first row because I had no idea how fast like I was going to go or anything like that.
Yeah.
I was just going by feel, but pretty much Cam Levins, who is the Canadian record holder of the marathon.
Yeah.
Actually, he's faster than all the Americans too. So I think North America wide, like the fastest marathon. I know. So he went out ripping. I think he did like a 101. So he's gone.
Yeah.
And Trevor Hoffbauer, he went off ripping too on his own.
Yeah.
So he was second, I think it was like a 104. I think he was just doing a training run that day, which is crazy. And
we'll have to ask him.
Yes, that's right. And then it was Kip and I, and we pretty much ran the entire thing together. So he was on my heels the whole time. I was just kind of like enjoying it as much as I could. Obviously it gets hard.
Yeah.
And then I think with 200 meters to go or less, we both started kicking the same time, but he's got such an incredible kick. And he kicked me to the line. And put like 4 seconds on me apparently, which is ridiculous. But I couldn't hang with that at the end, that's for sure. So yeah, 4th place. Super happy with that. He's a crusher because he's in his 40s. He just won the Calgary marathon.
He
right?
did.
Yes. So yes, it was that was cool. It was my first like real road running experience and kind of opened my eyes to that, being like, oh, I'd like to be able to run fast. I did that and then dove into CIM, which was a tough race for me, but still got what, like 223 high? Right.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was kind of my road running career. And then I was like, back to trail. So from there, it's really fun going from road to fast trail because you're putting in some really good intervals.
Yeah.
So you're running, I mean, for me, I was doing like a 3:08 pace for the half marathon. A lot of my intervals were like low 3s.
Oh my God.
So you're feeling good when you run anything slower than that, which trail, like you are.
Right.
So Bandera, Texas, January. Like it's hit or miss if it's hot or not, but that was when one of their freaks like snowstorms kind of rolled through. So
damn,
it was like 5 degrees out. And I'm like, well, this is fantastic. I'm like right in my element here.
Yeah.
It's cold.
Yeah.
It's obviously training in Calgary. It's pretty cold in winter, usually.
Yes.
So I went down and it just took off. I think one other guy was hanging with me for a little bit, but I just ran the race myself. Yeah, 3:35 maybe for that one.
Dang.
50K. Yeah, that was another like eye opener for me. I'm like, okay, I can.
Wait, 3:35 for a 50K?
Yes. With like 1,000 meters of vert, I think. So.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
I mean, I just did the full, and I did it in like 3:34. So that is impressive what you did.
Yeah, thank you. I'm trying to get back to there because that was a good year for sure. Good
More
start.
good years to come, and
Oh,
we'll get
absolutely.
to it.
Oh, yes, we will.
Okay, so how did you get into running? Let's take it back. I haven't even started my first question yet.
Right. Okay, well, this isn't going to be the matchup mile. It's going to be the matchup 50 miles. So
Yeah.
you have to prepare for like a 7-8 hour session. So how did I get into running? Way back, well, like really, when I was like in school, like elementary school.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, made to be like track field day, right? And cross country. I'd play soccer. So I was always running.
Yeah.
But not usually just running as a sport itself. It was, other sports. I had running involved with it.
Right.
But then in high school, I joined the cross country team. And then I did well for a couple of years at that. I went to Ontario's. In grade 12. So my final year of high school, went to Ontario champs, cross country. And then that was pretty much it, other than maybe some track and field stuff. Went to university, didn't run. Went to Queens, but didn't run at university at all.
Okay.
After that, when I graduated, I went, my first job was out in northern Alberta, so Grand Prairie. So, pretty far up there.
Yes.
So I started running when I was up there because I was like, I like running, kind of maybe putting on a bit of weight. And I was like, I got to get like de-stressed from work because I was working 50, 60 hours plus a week in the field.
Yeah.
So in the summers there, I started running a bit more. Sorry, that's okay. So I started running up in Grand Prairie. And then, I mean, I'm pretty competitive. So I was like, I'm going to run. And at the time, I wasn't like looking at racing or anything, but I just had found out it was Strava. So I was like, what are these segment things? So I just remember, and nowadays it's like, what was I doing? But I would just go like segment site.
Yeah.
I would just be like, I'm going to go take all the segments of Grand Prairie. Which nowadays I'm like, whoa, segment sniping, come on. Like, you got to put like a 20K run and then go hit something.
Yeah.
But I don't judge. Doesn't matter to me. But anyway, back in the day, I just started doing that. I was like, I can, take some of these segments here. Maybe I should start like looking at some races.
And it was road that you were doing? Or was it trail at that time?
You know what? Yeah, good question. Both.
Okay.
So definitely road for a lot of it. Because that's like, they mainly had mostly road up there.
Yeah.
But there were some trails and I started doing some of that. Yes. So some trails, some road. And then I started signing up for a few races.
Yeah.
And those races were, actually, you know what? It was a mix of road and trail, but started doing those up there, 10K, half marathon. And I was winning those up there.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, great. This is going well. I'm going to keep on running here. I'm liking this a lot. So then being up in Grand Prairie, my coworker at the time, Jeff, he's like, hey, have you ever heard of this Canadian death race thing? When I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
And then he's like, it's like more than even a marathon. It's really, so what it is, it's like 3 marathons. I think these days it's 115K, 5,000 meters of vert.
Oh, God.
I was like, why would anyone do that?
Yeah.
That seems insane. And then the year went by, I'm like, that seems really stupid, but I kind of want to do it. So I dove in and started really training for death race. Talked to a bunch of people, started running with people that have done the race, read a bunch of books. I was like, okay, let's do this thing.
Yeah.
Got injured. I had to delay a year. But then finally, August 2017, I towed the line for that. And it was my first race past 21 kilometers. And I was like, diving right into that kind of distance. And then I won outright, which was wild.
Your first race?
Yes. First
Oh
ultra
my God.
marathon. Didn't know what I was doing still. Yeah, managed to win it outright. So I remember during the race, be like, this is the hardest thing I'm ever going to do.
Yeah.
I'm never going to do this kind of distance again, but I'm going to finish it for the first time.
Yeah.
And then I won, like, the same day. I'm like, when's the next one now? Like, apparently I can't stop. Like, I'm doing okay at these things. So I started looking around for more, but
Okay.
it was a good intro into Well, I guess both where the running started and then how I got into the trails.
See, I told you before we started this run that you were born to run.
Yes, you did. I'm like, no, but yeah, I mean, some days maybe, yeah, feels like it.
Okay, hold on. I need to tie my shoe.
Yes. Oh. We are one question in, we're at 2K. I'm like, oh, we could go for hours.
I know. Okay. How has training evolved for you over the years?
That's another very good question. It's definitely evolved. So when I first started, I was, self-coached.
Yeah.
I would just look at some plans, at some books. I kind of had the theory down, at least broadly, like, okay, you need to get some speed work in. You need to do most of your runs as easy runs, though I'm sure my easy runs were too hard back in the day because you're young. You're like, oh, I can just run fast all the time.
Yeah.
You can't. You shouldn't. I mean, you can when you're young, but it's just not beneficial. But I knew that. And then running, I guess, 1 or 2 long runs a week on the weekend, I kind of put that all together. So that's how I trained for death rates and everything before that.
Okay.
Was just on my own. But then I was like, okay, if I want to make a run at this thing, and even back then I was like, what's Western States? I want to go like do that guy, qualify for that. How do I do that? Oh, what's a golden ticket? Shoot, okay. I need to be serious about this thing. So then at the time I reached out to my still coach, David Roche.
Yeah.
So I emailed him at the time. I'm like, hey, I'm just like getting like into this, but I've heard good things about you, and I know a couple people that have either been coached by you or are still being coached by you.
Yeah.
So hey, let's. Do you have any space? And even at that time, I think that was 2018. Early.
Oh, okay, that's been a while.
Oh yeah. And
Wow.
then when he emailed back, he's like, "Oh, I'm full up, but how about these other people?" I'm like, David, I'm like, I think you're my guy. Here's why. And he's like, I like it. You're like, are you kind of like this person and like just like happy about running and like you want to just got to see where this goes, blah blah blah. I sent a bunch of stuff back. I'm like, yes, it's okay, you're in. So he opened up a spot for me, which I was very lucky that he did that.
Yes.
Incredibly grateful for that. And then now, so I guess with his guidance, and now, however many years later, like we're coming up on 7 years. Yeah, math when running, as you know.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, but that many years later, it's evolved, and even with him, so he's more structured. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's coached hundreds of athletes, people that are going to be better and are better than I ever will. So he's got the science.
I don't know about that.
Oh yeah, he coaches some of the best in the world.
We'll get to that, I'm sure.
There's always someone better. But I pretty much, that's the thing now, is I kind of just take a back seat in that approach. So people are like, oh, what's your specific plan? What's this and that? I'm like, I don't exactly know because I just follow what's on my sheet.
Right.
I work full time. I let him do it. But he's really dialed it in. So you're a lot more specific to the type of racing you're doing, whether it's like sub-ultra, fast stuff, like marathon training, or like 50Ks and then 100Ks, how much vert you're doing, what's the elevation profile of the race. But still, it still boils down to you're running most of your runs easy. You do some speed work. Typically, my speed work's around Wednesday. I hit up some doubles when I'm in peak training, so 2 runs a day.
Yeah.
And that's usually...
Lunchtime? Is that when lunchtime running comes in?
Yeah. Lunchtime running, by the way, is like being able to work remote and hitting lunchtime running up is... it's my favorite thing, especially in winter. Yeah, because otherwise I won't see the sun.
Yeah,
I guess you know, it's pretty dark here in winter. So yeah, getting out for like a 10:30, 11 a.m. run, that's it's so nice. So I'll do that. Yeah, before lunch, first run, and then you give a good 6 hours in between at least, and then go hit my double, usually on the treadmill, get some uphill running for half an hour or something like that. Yeah. So I hit that up, do that twice a week, usually long runs on the weekend, just because obviously I'm working in the week. A lot of trail, sometimes some back-to-back, pretty big days with workouts, sometimes on the Saturday as well, within the long run. But he's really opened my eyes to exactly how to train. So it's been very beneficial for me to be coached by someone of his caliber.
Do before a run? What do you do after a run?
Yeah, that's a good question too, because there's a lot more behind the scenes than just running.
Right.
So
Yes,
me,
you stretched today. I did not.
yes, and that's like, that was light for me too. Usually it's like warm-ups are taking a lot longer than that.
Okay.
But pre-run, you want to warm up pretty much all your muscle groups. Sometimes band work to get the legs going. I've got some specific exercises associated with my physio to get things activating, moving properly with my feet, legs. So I'll do, it depends, but sometimes like 15 minutes, 20 minutes of warm-ups before my run. And then, you do your run. Afterwards, hitting I guess during the run too, fueling properly every run. Everything over an hour long. That's big nowadays.
Yeah.
High carb fueling, even in training. Then after you run, you're hitting, I guess I've got a nice protein shake, carb protein recovery shake from Naak, that I hit after every run. Then not usually after my run, but later on in the day, I'll hit my physio exercises up.
Okay.
So I'll be doing whatever my physio prescribes for whatever we're working on, whatever injuries or ailments I've got, which there's always something. Is just trying to stay on top of it as much as we can.
Yeah.
So I'm doing those kinds of exercises that he's prescribed. Foam rolling with the lacrosse ball, usually lower body, back, getting the hips. Right. Also, in addition to that, heat training, that can be both passive and active. So in the past, it's been mostly passive. So I've been hitting up saunas, usually right after a run if I'm around. So that just, your heart rate's already elevated. So get into the sauna right away, keep that going, get hot, stay hot, get that blood volume, maximize that as much as you can. So that's usually 3-4 days a week. But then you go into active heat training, which I'll be getting into more, but that's a whole different thing. Probably a whole different question altogether.
I feel like we're doing this right now.
Yeah.
Active heat training.
Oh,
yeah. Is that when you go on the treadmill and you put on all or I guess outside?
Yes.
Put on all your clothes?
Exactly.
Okay.
Either one. Woo! We're into the wind now.
Okay, this feels good.
Yeah, it does. We're going downhill finally, right? So active heat training, yeah. So it's been big recently. It's probably seen on social media a lot, but passive heat training typically isn't enough for a lot of these super hot races, which I've been notoriously bad in the heat in the past, but I know you can overcome it. Again, just based on my coach, he was bad in heat too. But now he's crushing Leadville, I guess it's pretty hot. Javelina. Yeah. Now he's going in the States in a couple of weeks, and he is crushing the heat training. So yeah, you're pretty much just putting on, usually, and it depends on kind of where you're at, but for me, it's going to be a couple easy runs a week, suiting up into winter clothing kind of style.
Yeah.
Either running outside in the heat or on the treadmill. I don't have access to I've got a gym I'll go to, but it's not super hot. Right. I think if I throw on some winter stuff, kind of do that. And then jump into the sauna right after as well. So,
okay.
Yes.
Damn. I cannot imagine that.
I can't either. So we'll see how it goes.
You talked about injury a bit. So you just are recovering from injury.
Yes.
Would you say you're fully recovered?
Yeah, I think we're getting there. I'm definitely confident that I'll be back to, peak form, I guess, in the next couple of months.
Okay.
Which is really good timing. But yeah, I've had a couple of weird things going on. I was dealing with a knee injury last year in the fall. And that's why with Kodiak, I dropped down to the 21K. I was supposed to do the 100K.
Okay.
But I just decided to go around the 21 instead, just to, do something still.
Yeah.
And my knee was kind of giving me some problems. But then early in the year, I stepped on a shard of I broke a plate in an Airbnb down in Phoenix and thought I cleaned it all up. Next day, I stepped on a piece in the carpet. It was ceramic. So, which I now know doesn't show up on x-rays. But at the time, went to urgent care. They're like, oh, you're fine. Nothing's in there. So when there's a piece in my foot, I pulled it out. But turns out after, I think it was 8 doctors and 3 surgeries later and a whole bunch of imaging, that there was a piece still in my foot causing me pain. Wasn't able to run for a while. So they think they got it out. Feels fine now, which is great. It's still healing. There's still, it's the scar tissue and whatever coming up, but at least I'm not in pain now. So that's healing. They stitched it up. So that injury's good. Now I'm just focusing on strengthening the knee.
Yeah.
Working through that. But yes, we're definitely trending upwards. And I am excited to kind of get back into the running.
Yes. And when you were like recovering from injury, were you able to do other activities?
I wish. So I was, but then as soon as I found out that I still had a piece of plate in my foot, I was like, oh, well, that's why the biking hurts. It feels something. So I stopped everything.
Okay.
So I was off for a couple months, like completely.
Okay. So, I mean, I think this is really challenging with people who like enjoy activities.
Yes.
Is that you, like, when you're injured, you may not be able to do, like, instead of a run, a bike, or instead of like a bike, a walk or something like that. And so how did you manage that? Like navigating through the challenges of not being able to do exercise? Because that's important to you, I feel like, and it's important to a lot of people.
It is so important. It's kind of my life. Like I'll work and I'll run, or at least be able to move. I like doing activities and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So not being able to, and being like kind of stationary for a couple of months. How did I navigate it? Well, I mean, probably not the greatest, but I, sunk more hours into work and doing that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Went down to races and crewed other people, watched them. So still being part of the scene.
Yeah.
Just not racing myself.
Right.
Helps to alleviate some of that I am missing, I guess FOMO pretty much.
Yeah.
There still was FOMO, but at least being there at these races. So I had signed up, you have to sign up for races well ahead of time. So I had Black Canyon 100K I was supposed to do. I had Canyons 100K I was supposed to do. I have Broken Arrow, which I was supposed to do, which is coming up.
Yeah.
And like that whole plan is out the window.
Right.
So I'm like, I still already booked everything.
Right.
So I'm going to go down. But what does that look like?
Okay.
Just cheering for other people, getting on course.
Yeah.
And then finding other hobbies, I guess, if it was an extended period of time.
Yeah.
Finding other hobbies. But
okay.
Yeah, definitely difficult.
Did you have any like mottos to get you through it at all?
Ooh. I didn't have any sort of like mottos or mantras or anything during that piece. I guess when I was not moving. Definitely mantras are a thing people use during ultras.
Yeah.
Get a couple of words there to like empower you as you go when things get tough. So I know that's a thing. And
do you have any?
I've got a very simple one that I use sometimes.
Okay.
It's just a straight like, you are strong.
Okay.
We just repeat that a bunch.
Yeah.
Every couple of minutes and you'll get through it.
Okay.
Especially in those lows.
How do you prevent injury during, like, as you start ramping up your training?
Yeah, it's hard.
How do you try?
How do I try? I'm laughing because I'm like, I get injured a lot apparently, but it's not progressing too quickly. And that's both with mileage, speed, and elevation.
Okay.
So you're pretty much incrementally building up. And it takes a long time. Yeah. We're going to go over there. So you just... Are
we going up that hill?
I mean, we can sit on here, but then you get the highway traffic. And
it's
kind of like rough as well. So we can do a walking hill.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to...
I'm in a full sweat right now.
Yeah. No, I feel the same. I'm out of breath half the time. So it's very hard talking in an interview.
I forgot to restart my watch. You are sharing your watch.
Yes. I'll sync it up with you.
Thank you.
Here's a power walk.
Okay.
Yeah. See, that's the thing in trail running too. You don't walk, you power hike. Right?
How do you power hike?
With intention.
Okay.
And I'm not saying I'm the best at this either. First of all, I don't like the loose gravel. So really with like power hiking, depends on how steep the grade is, but you have poles and you're using the poles to keep some sort of tempo.
Yeah.
If you're not, then it's pretty much like this, between like this kind of pace here and this can mean like minutes per kilometer.
Damn, okay.
So like, it's more just keeping a good tempo.
Yeah.
Obviously you're watching your heart rate too. That's kind of like how I'm training these days with heart rate. So depending on where you're at in a race or training, what heart rate you need to be at, what zone you need to be in.
Yeah.
That's going to dictate it, but it's pretty much just not getting complacent with just like walking.
Okay.
That's the biggest thing is like, you just don't lose focus. You need to get up this damn hill. So move with intention.
Okay.
That's typically how I.
That's my motto for this weekend for Minotaur.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's a whole different thing.
Only 10K. Only
Okay,
10K.
right, the Minotaur. Yes.
Okay,
So I missed that whole question and went on a tangent.
No, you
Something
got the
completely
question.
different. Did I?
Yes, you did get the
I
question.
can't even remember what the question
It was like, how do you prevent injury during your, like, increasing your training blocks?
Okay, yeah, I guess I touched upon that. Just don't go too hard. Don't do too much at once. Also, you really just got to listen to the body. It's very important. And I know when you're younger, it's harder to do. It was for me.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm going to lose all this fitness and training. It's not the end of the world if you need to take a couple of days off for some small little tweak or something that's feeling not great.
Yes.
Instead of like running through it and then causing yourself more injury, more downtime later on. So kind of all boils down to that.
And as we were talking earlier, your back to running is my fast. So you don't lose the fitness. So today you posted on Instagram that you're part of the Team Canada World Mountain Trail Running Championship.
Yes, that's right. So I was selected for Team Canada for the World Mountain and Trail Running Championships. I'm on the long trail team, and that is going to be in Spain in September, late September.
Damn.
Don't know how exactly to pronounce it yet. Confront, I think. The Pyrenees is pretty much on the border of Spain and France.
Okay.
So very happy to have been selected again for the team. This will be my second time on Team Canada. And I'm looking forward to the race and to getting back to fitness to make sure I'm in peak shape for the race, because it's 80 kilometers and 6,000 meters of vert.
Whoa!
Oh yeah, it's
okay.
It's a lot of vert. So this summer is going to be a lot of vert, training with poles again.
Yeah.
And then making sure that my body can handle that, because it's a lot up and down. It really beats your body up, as I found out in Austria. So last time I did it.
When was the last time you did it?
2023.
Okay.
June. It was in Stubai and Innsbruck. And that was the last time I did long trail, yes. So it's every 2 years of the championships. So that time I qualified by winning the Canadian championships.
Yeah.
This year I applied for the team. Wasn't sure if I was going to get on just because of the whole injuries thing. But yeah, fortunate enough that I'm on the team and I'm confident.
How could they deny you?
These days, there's so many good Canadians that are running. Like, it's incredible the amount of talent that's coming out of Canada now. And I don't think the world knows. Still doesn't know yet, but some Canadians are breaking into the scene worldwide. So yeah, we've got some crushers. So we've got a good team for sure.
And how do you feel about all this, considering we just talked about injury, you being off?
Yes.
And now you're running this.
That's right. So I've got a base behind me now.
Yeah.
It has been, I think we're coming up to 2 months of like consistent running, getting those base miles in. So obviously I feel like there's pressure.
Yeah.
I can't get injured. I need to put the next 16 weeks in, really make sure I can be ready for this thing, not let Canada down, because they're picking it, right? So we want to make sure you're at your peak fitness level. So I've got enough time to do that, to get the vert in, to sharpen myself up, get that specificity for the steep vert. Okay. So yes, I'm excited. I can't wait for football's like. It's time to get to work here. So I'm gonna be very serious. Like the next 4 months, it's literally just work, train, which kind of is my life anyway, but like even more so now.
Okay. Do you do anything like pre-race leading up to the race, like a week before? Is there anything that you do to get ready for it?
Yes. So it depends on the location and what kind of race it is. The more serious the race, the more distance there is, the harder the race that's going to be. There's more taper involved.
Yeah.
So I think I usually still do like a 2-week taper where you cut back mileage a bit, you cut back the length of your workouts, you're still running them with effort.
Yeah.
You're still not like cutting back that. So 2 weeks out and then a week out, you cut it back further. Usually that's your travel day in there. So you got like another day off of rest. Make sure you're fueling right, getting enough sleep. But yeah, for races in Europe, which this will only be my second race in Europe. You've got that whole jet lag, time difference.
Yeah.
It's huge. So last time I went to Austria, I think I only had maybe a week before the race over there, not even. So I feel like I'm still like trying to catch up. My body clock was all messed up.
Yeah.
So the goal this time is to get over there early, like weeks early.
Okay.
Get on course, see it, train in the heat there, train in their actual conditions, get the body clock converted, and then ideally, have a better showing.
What are some of your favorite trails to do within Calgary to help train?
Ooh, within, so like urban trail kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're pretty much running the best one.
Okay.
Nose Hill.
Woo.
It's like, depending on traffic, 15 to 25 minutes from downtown, just north of downtown.
Yeah.
Love this. It's so good for a week, like midweek trips.
Yeah.
You can get whatever mileage you need. It's huge here.
Yeah.
You can get vert. It's not like extended climbs, but if you keep on going up and down as you go around the perimeter, you can get like 600, 700, 800 meters in 20K.
Damn.
You can still do that here. So it's nice when you can't escape to the mountains midweek where it's, an hour plus to get out there.
Right.
So Nose Hill, other ones, probably Fish Creek. I don't go down there much.
Yeah.
Because it's further away. But they do have really nice trails. I ran a race there once. We got some fun stuff down there. So I'd say Fish Creek is probably second.
Okay. Has your perspective changed at all with running? What I'm thinking is like, maybe before you took running for granted? I don't know. Did you?
I'm sure my perspective has changed gradually over time.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever took it for granted because I know it can be hard on the body. And
yeah.
Whenever people are like, oh, your knees, like, don't they wreck your knees? And I was always like, no, like if you train enough and properly, you'll be fine. But then I've had like knee issues and stuff, like nothing crazy. But anyway, yes, I think my perspective has changed as in, cannot take any of it for granted. Any day that I am running, it's a good day, even if it's a bad day.
Yeah.
So I'd rather be doing this than anything else.
Right.
So don't know how long this is going to last, but I'm hoping for decades. But if not, I've had a lot of really cool experiences and kind of just hoping I can just keep on doing that for as long as I can.
Yes.
Appreciate every day you can run.
And maybe some more road racing in the future?
I'd never say never. I still... I don't want to say I've got like one more goal, but, and I've got to, like, I'm not getting any younger, which is terrible to say. I'm 33, but usually these are your like peak years for a lot of people for running before you hit 40. So I've got a lot of goals, both in trail and then maybe a few more road running things. Really, I don't know if I'll ever be able to do it, but I'd like to take one more shot at going sub 220.
Okay.
I don't know when that's going to be because I think my trail goals have priority. I want to do state still. I want to do...
Wait, sub 220 as in the full marathon?
Yes, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Oh, my God!
I don't know how I'd be able... That's what I was training for CIM, was to run with the guys doing OTQ for 218. But I started fading at halfway.
Okay.
So that's where kind of that happened. But I think if I go out at a 220, if I've got a really good walk behind me and a good race, then maybe.
Okay.
But that's hard. It's easy to say, here's what I want to do. And it's a lot harder putting it into practice. But that's probably my last goal.
Okay. I feel like even if you went out at whatever pace is 220, I will never know because I'll never be at that pace. You could probably walk it and make it under 240.
You don't really want to do that. You want to... Negative splitting still, I think, is the thing.
Yes,
with
that's
marathons,
fair.
But I'm not the expert on road running.
I beg to differ, but okay.
I just like to run. I just run. Whatever that is.
Yeah. Whatever the pace may be.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
3 minutes per kilometer. Who knows?
Hopefully again someday. We're getting there.
Do you have any race day traditions?
Ooh. Race day traditions. Nothing crazy. I'm not like superstitious now.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like I like to be at the start line or at least in the venue decently early. I just like not stressing. So if that means getting up an extra half an hour earlier, so I make it to the start line and then get kind of like focused in on the race, I have no problem with that. I don't usually sleep well the night before a race anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm probably tossing and turning anyway. So may as well get up, get fueled properly, make sure I get my warm up in, get to the venue. That's pretty much it. Nothing.
Okay. No same socks.
Oh no.
Okay.
No same socks. I'll have like, the socks I like to wear, but it doesn't like.
Right. Doesn't
I've got
throw off
multiple
your
pairs.
game.
No.
Okay. Rapid fire questions.
Oh no.
You are sponsored by Naak and Merrell. What is your favorite running shoe
Ooh.
by Merrell?
Okay, well, I've got a couple, and it all depends on what kind of terrain I'm on.
Okay.
So right now I'm wearing the shoes. I think they were just announced to release today. Let's go. So these shoes here, they're really nice. They're called they're the Merrell Pro Morph. So they're the next iteration of the Morph Light. These guys are a huge step above the last iteration of them. So these are like the new road to trail kind of shoes.
Yeah.
They're for light trails. They've got a bit of a tread on them, but not too much. They're light. They feel fast. This is my second run in them, I think. So I'm still feeling them out.
Damn,
but
okay.
I think I'm going to be a big fan of running these things, probably even on the pathways downtown. So for that kind of thing, easy trail, Pro Morphs, definitely.
Okay.
For longer races and training, the Merrell Adapt Matrix was just released maybe a couple months ago.
Okay.
Maybe it was announced a while ago, but a couple months ago, I think it's now available on the website. But nice cushioned, super critical foam, not too heavy, not as heavy as the Agility Peak 5s, but they're your long distance kind of shoe. They got a decently aggressive tread, Vibram sole. Good stack to them is the only thing some people might not like, but for me, it's with the super critical foam, you're not sinking in too much.
Yeah.
You've got some good energy return on that. So I think that's going to be my go-to for all my longer trail runs and longer trail races to hopefully save the feet a little bit.
Okay.
So I think those are probably my top two right now.
Okay.
Both new versions of shoes.
Okay.
Yes.
Favorite Naak product?
Oh, well, I mean, they've got so much good stuff now. Okay, so I guess, first of all, high carb fueling. I'm not saying it's all the rage right now, but there's a lot of talk about it. And a lot of people are doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of in that camp too. So I'm working to train my gut to push it further so I can absorb more carbs per hour. And then really that'll give me more energy throughout a race is the idea behind that. So being able to put that in your stomach can be tough. Naak just released their boost lineup.
Okay.
So that's their high carb lineup. So it's a neutral flavor, tastes like a little sweet, but really nice and easy on the stomach. They've got the gels and they've got the drink mix. So I think that's my number one right now. I was involved in the prototyping process for that. I think it was like almost a couple of years ago now.
Damn.
Yeah, so they've been really working on this for a long time, making sure it's ready for release. So
making sure it's Brandon approved.
Brandon approved. A lot of their athletes, a lot of their faster athletes approved as well.
Okay.
So I think boost for that. I think that's going to be my go-to for any sort of. Well, most of my training, honestly, is going to boost during. What else do I like after? I'm not like one that likes to chew a lot when I run, but I really like their fruit waffles.
Okay.
Chocolate is my favorite.
Yum.
It's so good. I like their bars. Their bars were like their first thing.
I love their bars.
Love their bars.
Yeah.
That's more of like a during the day, before a run or after a run.
Yeah.
Also, and I think we talked about this a little bit, but they've got their newer recovery protein carb mix shake. So I really like that. I think what's the flavor I like the most? They've got 3 flavors. I think one's like vanilla chai. One is some sort of fruit, and then one's more like a chocolate sort of nut.
Okay.
And I think that's my go-to. But pretty much after every run, I'm drinking one of those. So I do really like that.
Okay.
I'm sure there's so much other stuff though. Like their old mix, which is still really delicious. I'm still using it. The watermelon drink mix that used to be my go-to.
Oh. I'm
still drinking it.
Okay.
It's pretty mild.
Yeah.
It mixes well. It does have a lot of carbs in it too. So yeah, that as well.
Okay.
Black sweetness. They're so much fun. Oh, they're nut butter. They're almond nut butter. Oh,
Is it good?
it's so good.
Okay, what do you put it on? Or in?
Bagels.
Okay.
Like, honestly, like every lunch during the work week, it's just that and like a whole wheat bagel or two and they're nut butter.
Okay.
I'm like, I don't know, a creature of habit maybe that way, but
yeah.
it's so good. It's so good. So definitely those.
Okay. I'll have to give a shot.
Yes, you should.
Favorite trail race?
Oh, that is so hard. That is so hard. One, and this is sad, but like I have to really think about to remember all the trail races I've done.
Okay.
Because I don't know, when you're racing 5, 6 a year for the past 7, 8 years, I'm like,
yeah,
what have I done?
Yeah.
So I really like, obviously, like the local trail races, just because it's not, maybe it's less about the race itself, more about the community.
Yeah.
And seeing everybody, but like, I've done Sin 7 a couple times. Well, done the 50K a couple times, DNF the 50 mile and the 100 mile a couple times. But I really like going down there every year. So I will say Sinister Sports, Sinister 7 race.
Okay.
They're, I really enjoy that.
Okay.
But I also just like any sort of race that has a lot of competition. I like anything that brings out international athletes. You like get crushed from the States.
Yeah.
All that I really love. So in Canada, I really like Squamish 50 miler, of course. Jerry Robbins, awesome dude. I've raced that race twice. Once during the atmospheric river year, which was it was wild. Then I raced it again, ripped that pretty well. Had Carl and Chris, two buddies, ripped that thing, and I was chasing them the whole day. Wasn't able to catch it, but I had a really good day for the most part right there. Squamish is fun. Squamish 50 mile is fun, but I choose that. Other than that, honestly, most races I do, I enjoy.
Okay.
The Gorge Waterfalls, 100K, love doing that one. Devo and Daybreak Racing, put on a good race. I'm gonna feel bad if I just like won't mention people, but like, there's so many. Aravipa, I always enjoy doing their races. Some of their smaller ones I've really enjoyed doing because like Santan Scramble, I've ripped that one before. Damn good run. I've tried Black Canyon 3 times. I've done poorly every single time, but I still love it for some reason. I still want to do it one more time. So they put on good races. I liked Slay the Dragon. That was awesome by Bush Babes and Bros. That was a fun one over at Vernon, or I guess at Vernon. They also put on some good stuff at Cal Park too, which is in Vernon. So they're awesome too. There are so many. I don't think I have there's never been a race where I'm like, that was the worst thing. I don't want to ever do this again.
Right.
It's more like I would love to do it again. Yeah. And I also have 50 other races I really want to do.
Right.
And I've only got who knows how long? Who knows? Right. So I really need to start hitting some other races.
Okay.
Yes.
I like the attitude. Sometimes maybe you haven't had the time that you wanted, but you're still having a good time out there.
Exactly.
And that's all that matters.
Yes. Even on the days where you DNF or just have a terrible day.
Yeah.
I still would rather be there than doing anything else.
Fair.
It's still a wonderful day.
Fair. I think that's what makes you so great, so humble.
Well, thanks. I try, I guess, but it's just, I think how I am.
What's your favorite activity to do outside of running?
Oh, that's hard because I'm mostly running these days. I like everything that comes along with the running. So not even just the running, but say you're going out to the mountains, you spend the day in the mountains, post run, hang out by the river, catching up with people, having a few drinks, that kind of thing. If I'm like being outdoors for the most part, it's like,
okay, yeah.
I just like being outdoors as much as I can, which sometimes it's hard because I always want to be moving. You actually have to recover. So you can't be doing too much, but anything outdoors I'm into, as long as my feet stay on the ground. I don't like heights, so I'm not climbing or anything like that.
You're not doing Minotaur?
No, see, that's the thing. So Merrell sponsors the whole Skyrunner World Series, right?
Yeah.
So they've got a lot of really good athletes. I was talking to some today, even their monthly call, and they're talking about sky racing and some things associated with that.
Yeah.
But I can't get into it, but they always appreciate when you could run the skyrunning trail like races. Right. I'm like, not for me. One of two things will happen. I'm just gonna full send it.
Yeah.
And be like, well, if I get injured, I get injured, and I just, break a leg or something.
Yeah.
Or more likely, I'll be so like slow that I just won't be competitive, and I'll be frustrated just because like it's super technical. And people that can run those races, it is so impressive.
I know.
Yes. So not that, but what else? I guess other than that, I enjoy building and playing video games. So building computers, playing video games.
Yeah. I have one more question.
One more. We got a kilometer left. Uh-oh.
You actually?
Yeah, I know. Well, it's going to be a bit more than our 6K. Rapid fire question responses were not rapid fire at all. They were very long-winded.
That's okay. What's your favorite trail run outside of Calgary?
Oh, so yes. I have a couple of good, like really awesome ones I love to do, most eaters. In Kananaskis, Yoho. Okay, so anyway, number one. For some reason, I really like North Over Ridge. It was like 30K, 1,500, 1,700 meters.
Yeah.
Maybe 32K. You start at Upper Kananaskis Lake. And it's a good route. It's a good mix. You start on like double track. Then you get into single track. Then you get into some screes. So you climb up the ridge. Then you got to navigate a little ridge, which actually is probably not my limit, but like it's a really cool ridge and it widens out. You run the ridge forever.
Yeah.
Oh, then you get into some technical stuff, but like it's just got everything you want in a trail. Nice views, ridge running, waterfalls.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. And usually people do it as like a 3-day backpacking trip.
Okay.
So it's fun running by with, minimal gears, your emergency gear, your fuel for the day. And then seeing everybody with like 3 days of gear on them, they run it by like, what are you doing? It's like, oh, this is just out for a run. So that's number one.
Day trip.
Yeah, well, exactly. 4 hours. Spend your afternoon at doing that. Number two, ice line with whaleback. So that's off of that is before you get to Field, BC. So you're going down from Golden.
Okay.
You get off to there's a really famous waterfall there. Can't remember it, but anyway, ice line. It's like with whalebacks, 30-something K, and yeah, probably 2,000 meters merge. But you get up right away. You just use a big climb.
Okay, I'm walking.
Oh yes. I'm just get carried away and just keep going. So ice line is good because you get up to the top, and then it's just like glacier scraped, barren, and it's just a fun run through these rocks. And you got the waterfall down below. You got mountains all around you. You go whaleback, and you just like see into. It is beautiful. It's lots of waterfalls, lots of good views.
Yeah.
Not too technical for the most part. I know there's one more too. Oh, Gins Pass. Going over to Galatea. For some reason, it's always hot, like 30 degrees. So we'll jump into like one of the lakes up there. I'm sure there's more. There's so many more. I haven't done all of Rockwall, but part of Rockwall I did was fun. I haven't done all of Skyline, but I've heard good things about Skyline. Should want to maybe do that someday, but there's no Healy Pass, Egypt Lake, all of that, Farrell Peak, all back there by Sunshine. Another really good one. There's no shortage. There's so many good trails around here.
Okay. Is there anything that I didn't ask that you wanted to add?
Oh, I could talk about running for days. We could just go and I don't know. I could just talk. So I don't know if there's anything off the top of my head. I just like to run.
What up, boys?
Friends.
This is Colum. This is Evan. He's really putting me through the ringer here.
Yeah, what have you? Oh, we're almost at 9K.
Fucking tired though. I was like, can we walk?
I'm down with the walking, yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Okay, right, you guys have fun?
Enjoy your run.
See ya. Bye. Okay, let's run to there and then we'll run back.
Run, okay.
Okay, jog.
Okay. I appreciate you inviting me for this interview.
Oh my God, I was so excited.
I know it's been a long time in the making. So, yes, thank you for allowing me to come and just ramble about running.
People look up to you, so it was amazing having you on.
Well, thank you so much. It's still weird to me being like, Yeah, like when people say that, because I'm just a guy that like
Yeah.
running and like can sometimes run fast.
Yeah.
But like I get it. Like hey, I guess I'll accept that. But I just kind of just do my thing.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that, and it's nice to be out and be with someone who's also a big part of the Calgary running scene.
Well, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Much appreciative.
Yes.
Okay. Are we at 9?
Oh yeah, we're
Okay.
at 9.
Okay.
Was that your longest one yet? 'Cause if not, we gotta go for another lap.
No, this might have been my longest one.
Oh, God. Did your battery even last?
Oh, yeah.
It did.
We're
Yeah.
at 60. We're good.
That's
Okay.
wild.
Say goodbye.